Welcome, friends, to Holy Hills. My name is April Cranford. Today, we will explore the concept of matching mission with your church. We can often place limitations on serving God based on age, gender, past experience, or even fear. Yet God is willing and able to call, equip, and lead us in faith to serve in mission. The Spirit sustains our faith and moves us both inside and outside of buildings to spread the light of Christ. All spaces are sacred and open us up to the mystery and movement of God's love in the world. I am with my dear friend, Harriet Thompson. In serving with Harriet over the years, one of the many aspects that I love about our friendship and her leadership in the church is that Harriet does not place limitations on serving in mission. I look forward to her telling you of her passion for teaching children how to serve God in the world through the Mission Day Camp that she started here at Tinkling Spring Presbyterian Church in 2007, where she serves as the Director of Christian Education.
For almost 19 years, I have had the blessing of serving as the Director of Christian Education here at Tinkling Spring. And during that time, I watched so many youth leaders, such as April, take our youth to many places to serve others and to find God in the relationships that they were building with people who were not maybe just like us. And I could hear also a yearning from our children of how they could not wait to grow up and go out and serve on mission trips, just the way some of their older siblings were doing. In 2005, I had an opportunity to attend an educators conference, and while I was there, I came across a book written by a mom, and she had this idea, a simple idea, of pulling children together during the summer and helping them to serve in the community. And it laid out all the aspects of it, and I wondered what that might look like here within our own community and family of faith. It took a while for that idea to take hold, not just with me, but also for me to have the confidence to go on and share it. But once I did share that idea with our ministry teams, a plan was put in place, and we just needed to figure out what were we going to call this camp. And in our conversations, what came out was exactly what it is called, Faith in Action Mission Camp. An opportunity in a place, a safe place, for our children to learn more about God, their love of God, to deepen that, but also to deepen their relationship with one another and those in our community. And so we began in 2007 with just 13 campers, but it was a wonderful experience. None of us knew how it might go, but every single year thereafter, more and more children wanted to come and be a part of this camp. Not just those within our congregation, but also those in our community. And over the years, what I also saw was how important it was to our youth who were assisting as leaders within this camp. The relationships that they were building with the young people, but also how these children were excited to share their joy for serving. And that was contagious for our youth. And they were eager to get to their own mission experiences with their peers in the summer and throughout the year. One of the things that I discovered that I really wasn't expecting was how the children helped prepare us to go out into the community without reservation. Their hearts do not know any bounds. And so they eagerly go where we may say, I'm not sure if I'm comfortable with that. They don't have preconceived notions of going up and talking to someone that is in a wheelchair or has cognitive delays, or asking the hard questions that we are too scared to ask of someone that is experiencing homelessness. They have helped me to break down walls that I really did not understand that I had. They have helped me to be able to build stronger relationships with the people in the community that don't look like those that typically sit around my own family's dinner table. And yet, out of that experience, we have met God. We have been in soup kitchens, we have been out in parks, we have gone out to assist with local groups in missions that are meeting people in the darkest of places, in the darkest of times. And yet the continued message is that there is hope. There are others who stand in the gap. And so our children now see that. And through that opportunity, they realize what a difference they make. We have had the opportunity to have this camp every year since 2007, but due to the pandemic in 2020, we unfortunately were not able to hold the camp. But this year, thanks to the lower pandemic numbers and vaccinations, which is why I'm so thankful two fully vaccinated people can sit together and share about serving in the community. But we will be able to do that this year, and so we are returning to a modified faith in action. We're not able to get out into the community to all the places that we normally would like to go. That's just meant that we need to be a little creative with what we're doing. When God places a call to love God and love neighbor, it's interesting how those barriers can be lifted with a little creativity and imagination. So we will have a half-day camp, and we will do mission work on site here at Tinkling Spring. Over the years, I could not give you numbers of children and leaders that have been a part of this camp. I'm not one that likes to hold on to numbers because they tell such a small part of God's story. But what I do know is that the relationships that have been formed, to have children that over the years have been campers that talk about as they reach their final year of camp, how excited they are to come back to be youth leaders in the camp. And then they do. They usually are reaching out to me before I even have an opportunity to reach out to them. Our goal is that we would instill a love of neighbor and serving neighbor, of opening our hearts to see the needs within our community. And by building those relationships, we might come to understand, and dare we even ask someone, how can I be of help to you? Our children have been the best examples in my walk of faith of what it looks like to be the hands and feet of Christ. And so when we hold Faith in Action Camp again this year, June 14th through the 18th, I can only imagine how the Spirit will guide us into deepening relationships with those that we maybe didn't know so well. But now, because we hear their story, we have a shared story. And I believe that that's what God's story is really all about.
Thank you, Harriet. I encourage you to let go of all the limitations that you have placed on serving in mission and take a simple step this weekend to serve in mission with your church. Take care and blessings to you this day.
There's a church in the valley by the wildwood, no lovelier place in the dale. No spot is so dear to my childhood as the little brown church in the dale. The church in the wildwood, oh, come to the church in the dale. No spot is so dear to my childhood as the little brown church in the dale.
How sweet on a clear Sabbath morning to listen to the clear ringing call. It's talked so sweetly of calling. Oh, come to the church in the dale.
Come to the church in the wildwood, oh, come to the church in the dale. No spot is so dear to my childhood as the little brown church in the dale. There, close by the side of loved ones, neath all the trees where the wildflowers bloom.